Nobody was ever persuaded logically to go home with someone. Except in maybe perhaps, some sort of indecent proposal situation where like a eccentric billionaire gives you $1 million to sleep with your wife or something but that's, again, we're not doing that here. All right. Anyone else got some stories from the weekend?
I had quite a few approaches on Saturday night. I did a number of like 2 sets during the night, including a couple where, I approached one initially and kind of gave them a direct comment, but then for whatever reason, like switched during the set. And I found that kind of killed the set when I tried switching.
It makes sense. Why might that ruin the set?
Because the girl I showed initial interest in got jealous.
No, dude, no. She's not fucking jealous. Perspective taking is an absolutely essential component of all this. If you're just going in there and you're looking at this as like some problem to be solved, like an algebraic equation where I have to solve for X, that's not what this is. It requires empathetic understanding and the ability to put yourself in their shoes, the ability to imagine, to envision and take into consideration their subjective emotional experience. Now, remember, I said this on the program. No girl wants to be the hole that said yes. This guy doesn't give a fuck about me as a person. He didn't select me because he thinks I'm interesting or unique or special. Oh, he tried with my friend? It didn't work? Maybe I'll try this one. What's up? You want to fuck? No? How about you? You want to fuck? That's not making her feel special and selected and chosen and qualified. So again, this is not like rocket science. If you took a moment to actually get out of your own fucking head about like, do I look cool? Do they like me? What's my experience? To put yourself into their experience, these things would be glaringly apparent to you. Like, okay, like, so again, now to be fair, I have plenty of times changed the target and had it work. But in those cases, usually what I would say is like, I liked her initially, now I like you better because I think we have better chemistry. You could just say that. Remember, social errors only count if you are oblivious. So again, the guy's like, want to fuck? No? Want to fuck? That guy looks like a social imbecile. Whereas the guy who's like, no, actually I liked her, but now I like you better. I think we have better chemistry. Her and I really don't click. So like that, then it's magically fine. Because it's like, okay, he understands that he made that it's a weird thing. Like a simple statement of empathy could have fixed that. A simple statement like saying, look, I have a demonstrable attunement to your subjective emotional experience. I'm not, again, as Daniel Goleman would say, you're not communicating to them like a me-it, where they're just this like means to an end, this object that you're fucking talking at. No, it's me, you. This is a relationship that is evolving. And I have an awareness of your experience, my experience, and both of our shared experience at the same time. So yeah, I mean, again, going forward, that just remember, and again, this is one of those things like, look, I've done that 1 billion times myself, which is why I can speak intelligently about it, because I've certainly done that and been fucked on that so many fucking times. So yeah, I mean, now, next time now you know. And knowing is half the battle, as they said on G.I. Joe. Like, you know what? I like you. And now I like you better. Obviously, we don't have chemistry. You're fucking skeptical as fuck. As well, you should be. But I think that we just vibe better. We're together now. Like, it's got to be fun. Remember, it's as long as it's everything must be fun. Right? As long as it's still fun. And then, so again, you drop the statement of empathy and then you plow. That's a key element of statements of empathy. You have to have the ability to drop it and then change the fucking subject. Don't like linger on it, let it sit and dissipate into the air like a fart. It's like, no. You drop the statement of empathy and then you simply change the fucking subject and move on. This is why it is so important that you develop that ability to access and allow intuitive energies, because that's what's going to enable you to just keep fucking talking and never shut up. I think that is probably one of, if not the key skill that you must have to be successful at this, is that gift of gab, the $1 million mouthpiece, the ability just to talk continually and never shut up. and just go from topic to topic, make segues that with even the most tenuous leap of logic, and just keep it going and just keep it fucking going, because you're creating that you're creating that vibe. And remember, they're not attracted to the content, they're attracted to the vibe. So if you keep that going, this is fun, 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 fun. And that's why we train this in this mentoring program. We train that ability to allow intuitive energies, create the energy inside yourself, allow it free flow through imaginative, exercising that imaginative muscle, and also exercising the allowing function of not needing the intellect to judge every single little thing you fucking say before you allow it to be said out in the real world. Just fucking blurt and talk and just da 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 da. We used to call this shifting sands. There's nothing to grab onto. Like, they can't, like, oh, this, well, I'm going to focus on this now. Well, now there's 5 other, it's like Tetris. Now there's 5 other things coming down, and you got to find a place to put this block. You better figure out what to do with that block, because the blocks keep coming. They keep coming. And if you don't, then they pile up and you're just done. So again, you drop the statement of empathy. I think we have better chemistry. Da, 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 da. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Because if you don't, and you just go, I think we have better chemistry. But like, well, that's kind of fucked. They might go into, and then now it's some logical argument. And once it becomes logical, even if you win, you still lose, because now it's logical. And the logic's going to push out the fun. It's going to push out the pizzazz. It's going to push out the attraction, the interest, that special little spark that makes it mysterious, interesting, fun. It'll be gone, because now you're having like some fucking logical conversation. And nobody was ever persuaded logically to go home with someone, except in maybe perhaps, some sort of indecent proposal situation, or like a eccentric billionaire gives you $1 million to sleep with your wife or something like that. But that's, again, we're not doing that here. This is not indecent proposal. I forget who was in that film. It wasn't like Woody Harrelson or something. Who the fuck was in that? Do you remember? Demi Moore, who was recently in The Substance, which is a real tough fucking watch. Which, if you haven't seen it, the quick synopsis: this like aging film star woman is stumbles upon this like drug where she can be a younger version of herself, except it splits her in two, and she has to switch every 7 days to keep the balance. But then the younger one decides to not want to be the fucking old person again, and just like keeps being her, which causes the older one to like rapidly deteriorate and die. And so they start battling each other, and she calls the customer service, and she's like, she won't give it back. It's like, there is no she, it's you doing this. And it's like, just keep the balance. And I think the interesting takeaway of the film is, if somebody could keep the balance, they wouldn't take the goddamn drug in the first place. So it's about self-acceptance, which is a huge theme that we obviously talk about in this program. No matter where you're at, that's where you are. Wherever you're at, there you are. Take it from there and improve from there. Aside from that, good to hear that you're actually going out and, applying the shit, because that's where the rubber meets the fucking road. That's where, you're going to see these things. And if, we could have talked about this. And, if people were to watch a video about this, they go, I understand that. But remember, there's a difference between knowledge and knowing. Just because you know, oh, if I switch, I say that. You're not going to have that visceral fucking experience of having seen the blowout and felt the emotions in that moment. And now next time that happens, you're going to be like, oh yeah, this, boom. And you'll do the right thing, because you've had that IRL experience. And who knows, maybe in the future you'll fuck it up again. But at that point, you'll just re-etch that neural pathway and be like, oh yeah, that, right. Until eventually, a year from now, 2 years from now, anytime that shit happens, you're just like, boom, off the dome, at your fingertips, the right thing to do. That's when it becomes installed in the firmware. This technique shit, easy to learn. Like, it's the easiest part of this, provided you're going out. Like, the nuts and bolts mechanics of what to do at what point, that's the easiest shit. Like, any fucking moron with half a brain sack is going to be able to like understand mechanics of this shit in a relatively short time, because it's not rocket surgery. It's not brain science. It's a relatively simple set of instructions. But what's more difficult to wrap your head around is the self-acceptance, the understanding of the value proposition through self-esteem building, the ability to just shut the mind up and let the blurting happen. Again, allowing the intuitive energies, not putting forth a needy, try hard, competitive energy where you need it to fucking work, but rather just that I'm totally at peace with myself. I'm having fun in the environment. I'm offering you to meet me in the middle. I'm not trying to get into your space. I'm offering you, again, giving you the opportunity to meet me in the middle of this warm energy, this fun energy, and create something new together. And then beyond that, then I know I'm very familiar with how to move it forward. And if you and I have the chemistry and you're in the right space for that logistically, I'm going to pull the trigger and it's off to the fucking races.
These past 8 weeks have been, definitely an eye-opener for me. My biggest takeaways of it has been the taking action, whether before it was a lot more force, of like, oh God, I have to kind of like force myself to get out there and make conversation and stuff, where now it's becoming a lot more like, oh, this is actually quite fun. It's just really helped me expand my thought processes and the way I just handle interacting with people. I'm finding it as more exciting, more of an opportunity. These 8 weeks have been absolutely incredible.